It didn't matter how much work I did physically on myself before this point. All of that got that scratched. That went away when I got pregnant. I did not think about maternity leave because I have to work to provide for myself. Not only are we entrepreneurs, our husbands, our partners are. So there is no one who has a check coming in every single 2 weeks,
Right.
9 to 5. We have to keep going. Pregnancy is a blessing. It is. It's not going to be perfect. There are going to be hard moments, but there's going to be a lot of growth in it. There's going to be a lot of rediscovering yourself, and I would say be open to that and make the best of the moment.
We do it all, rise up strong even when we fall. Dreams in our hands, love in our hearts. This is where the journey starts.
Welcome to Baby Bump and Business, the podcast for creative moms growing a baby and a brand at the same time. I'm your host, B. Trofer Wilson, photographer, educator, and first time mom to be, sharing the real, unfiltered journey of pregnancy, entrepreneurship, and everything in between. Each week, I'll be joined by fellow creative moms to talk about the beauty, the burnout, and the balance of it all. So let's get into it. Today's guest, we have Ashani Roberts, a dynamic creative artist from Miami, Florida, 305,
Yes.
recognized for her work in acting, writing, producing, and visual art. In addition to bringing bold, authentic stories to life on screen and canvas, she is passionate about helping others navigate the entertainment industry through actor coaching and mentorship. With a deep commitment to both creativity and community, Ashani empowers emerging talent while continuing to expand her own artistic journey. Welcome, Ashani, to Baby Bump and Business.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm excited to
Yeah,
talk.
let's
Let's get
get
into
into
it.
it. So, we're on a similar journey right now. I'm 28 weeks, you're 27 weeks. How has this process been?
Ooh, it has been a challenge, eye-opening, and just every day it's something new. Every week it's something new, and I'm on this ride, and we're taking it one day at a time. Let's just say,
Listen. What was something you wish you knew now that you're here?
ooh, how tired I was going to be. Now, okay, now just backstory. I've always been a napper. Okay, so the naps were gonna come, but not like this. It's how tired, how out of it didn't matter how much work I did physically on myself before this point. All of that got that scratched. That went away when I got pregnant. Like I'm just tired, out of breath. And that was something new. I just felt like if I kept myself up when I got pregnant, I was gonna be good to go. And no, it means nothing.
Lies, lies. They lied about it. Listen. I mean, we spoke earlier off camera about just walking to the bedroom or walking to the bathroom and having to catch your breath, and that's not normal.
No, no. And
You
I
know,
like the fact that I could put my own shoes on in the past and my own socks, but now I need assistance. So it's sandals every day. Every day.
listen. I don't remember the last time I've tied my shoe. If I can't just slip my foot into it, it's not going on. It's
Forget
not
about it.
going on.
Forget about
And
it.
even just that idea of losing somewhat of that independence, they don't
Yes.
prepare you for that. Like
No. No,
I hate
especially
it.
when you're an independent person already and now you have to depend on people. And that's just tough in itself. Yeah.
I gotta wait on you too.
And when you to put my socks on,
You're not
let me
moving
get your
fast
socks.
enough. Wait, I called you 5 minutes ago. You're
Yeah.
still not here.
Socks still off, you know?
Now,
Yeah.
with you being a busybody, you have your hands in so many things. How has that adjusted for you?
Oh, there are days when I get a spurt of energy and I'm like, get it done. And I am getting things done. But when I crash, I crash. And then there are days when nothing, absolutely nothing gets done. I may do one thing And when I mean one thing, I mean I may go for a walk. You know, I may make some breakfast. And that is it. And I am done for the rest of the day. So I have learned on this journey to just those good moments when I'm feeling good, knock it out. In those days that I'm not in the mood or don't have the energy, just let it go. Just let it go and let God.
Listen. Now, we were talking earlier about how we were all misled that, it was 9 months and not 40 weeks. It's more like 10 months, which is almost a year when you think about it. When you found out that you were pregnant, did you have a plan for maternity leave? Did you have a plan of what this is going to look like work wise?
No, because I'm an entrepreneur and I did not think about maternity leave because I have to work to provide for myself every day. So I'm like, don't get me wrong, we planned on having kids. When it happened, it happened, you know. I'm not gonna curse, but we upped around and found out. You know what I mean? So I did not have a plan for maternity leave. And so with my career being majority acting, I knew immediately, okay, this is going to cut back on at least the acting part of my career, which is the main part of my career. So, of course, that was really hard for me to kind of just digest and wrap my head around. I wanted to get in as many auditions as I could. I was like, I submitted to some maternity agency for commercial and print, just trying to get a head start. Um, so no plans for maternity leave, but I also was like, well, what else have I been working on that I have put on the back burner? And that's when it came to writing and producing and trying to pitch my ideas that I've had sitting here getting dusty for years, you know, acting workshops that I've always talked about doing, but I wasn't able to, or I didn't put at the forefront because acting always came first. So instead of me getting too down about not being able to act, I said, well, let me just redirect my energy to other things because I'm a firm believer in you can do multiple things. I'm not a one. My mom has told me when I was little, you can do whatever you put your mind to. And so I was like, well, you know what? This is a time for me to check into those avenues that I've been, sitting on. Yeah.
Right, right. And I mean, I would say the same for me. It was one of those when I realized I couldn't physically do what I want to do. So, what are other things or what are other gifts that I know that I have that I've wanted to uncover and being able to tap into that now that I have time where I have to sit down, where I can't
Mhm.
be moving like I usually move. Oh, the stress. Now, um, in terms of that, how hard was that to mentally accept? Because of course, like now, once you get things going, it's easier to process. But we also know during that process or during that shift, there are those days when it feels like, what am I going to do?
It was tough. I have to commend my husband because there were days when I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I don't. What is my life come to? And it was hard, and I'm gonna say it took at least 4 months for me to wrap my head around. Maybe almost five, 4.5. Like I'm just
That this is happening.
this is just happening. This is me just accepting, like, okay, this is happening. Um, but it was so hard because you work so hard to get where you got, and then you feel like it's just an abrupt stop, and you can't help but look around you and be like, oh man, I wish I could do this. I wish I was doing this, or you feel like you're missing out on different opportunities, and so that in itself brings you down because you're like, man, if I wasn't pregnant, I could be doing this, I could be doing that. But I had to realize that, everything happens for a reason. What's meant for you is for you. What's meant for me is for me. During that time of me breaking down and just not knowing what to do and just, being depressed, it was a depression of just realizing, like, whoa, what am I going to do? I had to realize, girl, this is happening. So find a way around it, get out of that funk, and stay productive in different ways. And I think once I finally accepted it, about 4.5 months, I was like, okay, we're here. Now what?
Right.
Let's keep going. Let's keep pushing. Let's keep working. Yeah.
And I think that's the hard part where it's like, most people think that like once you find out, oh, it's so beautiful, you're pregnant, you're having this, you're having that, but they don't realize, especially as an entrepreneur, the worries that come with it, and me and my
Yeah.
husband often speak about that where it's like we as entrepreneurs, we have to go out and get everything that we can. And knowing that there are certain jobs you can't pitch to because in 2 or 3 months, you may not be able to do those things, or you may not look
Right.
the part anymore, or you may not be physically capable, and it's like
Hmm.
those worries and concerns are things that we often don't speak about, especially in this entrepreneurship journey where we have to create every little thing for ourselves, and it's
Right.
like, yes, this is a beautiful journey, but also if we're not out there getting it, if the money stops,
Now what? You have a kid on the way. You can't afford for the
you
money to
can't
stop.
afford for it to not stop because now everything is increasing,
There is
and
no
it's,
maternity leave. There's no one that's going to pay you, to sit at home.
and I think that's the thing too, where it's like, especially as creative entrepreneurs, we're not taught or we're not educated on what are practices when thinking about maternity leave, or there aren't that much government assistance when it comes to maternity leave. There aren't insurance policies or things like that that can help you in that. And it's like once you find out, it's kind of like that scramble of what am I going to do?
What else can I do?
Am I tell you me and ChatGPT been having conversations like so?
Chat is sick of me. Chat is sick of me. And you know what I do? I never log in because I don't want to be judged later on and be like, "Bruh, you are talking to me way too much." I don't log in. I don't log in anymore because
She's
I
like,
don't want him
I
to
don't want a
dictate.
track record.
I don't. I saw a video on Instagram of Chat telling people about themselves. If you ask Chat, so Chat, what do you think about me? And I said,
You
you
ain't
would
gonna read me.
never, you ain't about to read me, Chat. All these personal conversations we done had. You're not about to read me.
I don't need that.
Login is done. The login is over.
That's hilarious. That is hilarious. So going into now that you're here, what has been something you wish you knew before you found out you were pregnant, and what is something that you're glad to know now that you're at this almost third trimester?
Oh, something that I wish I knew was how to prepare for moments like this as an entrepreneur. Because that wasn't something, it's like, you want to have kids, you want to have a family. But when it came to preparation and realizing that things are going to stop, you're going to have to pick up different things. I wish I was better prepared in that way. I'm looking forward to the baby coming out, and I'm I'm looking forward to a healthy baby. And honestly, I'm also looking forward to all the things I've been putting my time into outside of acting and building. I've been building on those, and it's been fueling my passion in different ways. So I'm excited to see how those things sprout in the next coming months because I finally got a chance to get to them. So yeah,
Yeah,
so
you're the videos you've been doing, like the skits about the pregnancy.
ooh,
When I tell you
pregnancy
those,
anonymous.
the pregnancy it has been having me hollering, and I was like, I feel understood. Like I just feel seen.
And that's so funny because that came apart about during a time when earlier when I was just didn't know what to do, and I would vent to my mom every day about a new situation. Some of those stories, a lot of those stories are true, and my mom was like, "Well, you need to write about this," and I'm like, "Nobody wants to hear." And she said it again. I told her another story the next day. She was like, "You need to write about this," and I'm like, "You know what? I'm gonna do it." I sat down and I started writing all these different experiences that I've had, like with the smell and the food. And these are real situations. I cried on the phone to my mom because they cut breakfast off at a certain time and there was no more fish at KFC. And I was on the phone and she was like, Are you crying right now? And I was like, I don't know. That is a real story. And so I wrote them down and I got with a group of my creative friends, actresses, and we got it done. And another one was actually pregnant. So I was like, let's do it. And they were all for it. And it just turned into something so amazing because everyone had their own stories to bring to the table, different personalities. So, and that's just me, touching on that aspect of my writing and my creative of creating instead of just being an actress and bringing life to other people's projects and, characters. That's just me like, okay, well, let me keep writing my own things. Let me write my own skits, my own series. And so that was me digging into
Right.
that.
But it's beautiful, like you said, being able to turn your stories and turn what you're going through comedically, because
hmm
you're very funny, you're very humorous, but you're also bringing light to issues that where most women are going through in this process, where we feel
hmm
like we're going crazy. We feel like we're
Yes.
crazy for certain things, and it's like, again, chat, is this normal? Doctor, is this normal? Okay, it is. Okay, I'm not
Episode
losing my
about
mind.
Google had me in a chokehold in the beginning. I said, I can't talk to Google no more. I had to talk to
Have you
chat.
thinking you dying?
I thought I was a few times. I said, no, this can't be happening to me right now. This can't be my last. This is not how I'm going out. And that's when I started, I said, I got to talk to Chat because Chat is just a little bit more reasonable. He has more facts. But Google will have you thinking you're having a heart attack and a stroke and all
Yes.
of the above. You need to go to the ER and this is not normal. And it will drive you crazy.
Yeah, like I've been having like this, like a muscular cramp in my ribs. And I'm over here like Googling it, and it's like, oh yeah, your kidneys maybe feel all this up. And I go to the doctor, and she's like, no, it's normal. Like your body, because it's pushing down that pressure, you just need to sit up. And I'm like, Google had me thinking I was about to die.
Yeah.
I'm thinking
Yeah.
about to lose a kidney, about to have to go on dialysis.
It's done. What was I doing? What was I eating? Was I eating,
All I
drinking
did
something?
was get pregnant. But this started happening. So,
Yeah, no. So, oh man, I enjoyed doing that series though, because it was me, like you said, making light of what's going on, and it's a serious, it's serious, it's happening to all of the mothers around the world. So it's relatable. It's something for us that we can relate to and mothers can relate to. So yeah, that was fun, and we plan on doing some more foolishness soon.
awesome.
So
Awesome, awesome. I can't wait to see. I cannot wait to see. So, in
yeah.
this process, we always talk about how we're finding new strengths. What is a
Mhm.
strength that you have found in this season going through this process?
Ooh, patient. I have become way more patient in life because I have always been a get it done, go, get it done. You don't get it done, I'm getting it done. Today, right
Ain't nobody
now.
waiting.
Nobody's waiting. And it has taught me to slow down and be present and be
Hmm.
patient with things. And so that was hard for me because I'm such a go-getter and my friend is like, man, you're always getting stuff done. If I still get something done today, it's getting done today. And it just made me kind of slow down in life and just be present more. And I think that's an important thing to do, whether you're pregnant or not. It's just slowing down and being present and living and appreciating this moment, this day, and taking it one day at a time instead of feeling like you have to on to the next, on to the next. You get this done, on to the next, and just So I that was something that I was not ready for. It was hard for me to accept of just slowing down because I was like, I need to be doing something. Why am I sitting here? Things could be getting done. And now I just, kind of just enjoy the moment and enjoy the peace of the moment.
Beautiful, beautiful. So,
Yeah.
going into this pregnancy, was it planned, and did you have any difficulties going into it?
Oh, it was not planned. No, we had just got married. And so I said we after round and found out, you know. It wasn't planned. It was definitely something that we wanted within the next year or two. Not this soon, like I said, we wanted that honeymoon phase and everything. But it's okay. Yes. Lots of challenges. Of course, when it comes to pregnancy, they put you in a category because of your age and pre-existing conditions that I've had. And so it has been a challenge, just not only accepting it, but physically and health wise, it's been a challenge. And so, on top of everything else mentally I have going on, I have physical challenges going on that I'm trying to push through and accept and know that like this is going to happen. I can't get these things fixed. This is just something that I have to go through and be strong and push through. So, lots of challenges. My husband makes a joke because people are like, "Oh, what kind of symptoms does she have?" And he'll like every symptom you can think of, like every symptom,
Everyone in the book.
everyone that was listed, I've had, and it's every week it's something else. I'm like, "Oh, hey, I got this now."
Check.
Hey, I got this. It's here. What am I gonna get next week? It's a surprise. So yeah, I don't know. It wasn't planned at this moment, but like I said, God knows best. Everything happens in its own time, on God's will, not ours. So
Amen to
just
that.
accepting that and pushing through. It's all, we got to keep pushing.
Ain't got no choice. We got how many weeks left, girl?
Got to keep pushing till it's time to push.
So, do you have plans on slowing down as you go into your third trimester?
Well, I've already slowed down, and so slowing down in regards to like work.
Yes.
No, I'm gonna take every moment that I have energy get
See,
something done. And those times when I don't have energy, I'm going to accept that and relax. But I think that there's ways around it. There's mothers who work throughout their whole pregnancy. Granted, they may have different situations going on, different pregnancies in general. But I don't think there's anything wrong with working and and being a mother and still getting things done. I do think that you have to pay attention to your body, and manage your time and your energy differently. But I'm gonna always be as productive as I can, and just when those times that I can't be productive, accept it and just be in that moment. Yeah.
so what is some advice that you've received that you haven't listened to? And I say that because, especially with me and you are very similar. I'm a go-getter. And everyone's like, you need to sit down at this point and you need to, from this day, this, so you need to do X, Y, Z. And I'm like, if I physically can do it, I don't think that I should stop. I mean,
I don't think so either. A lot of advice. People tell me to sit down every day. Every day, like just sit down. Why? Why? I'm gonna go work out. If I can't jog, I'm gonna walk. If I can't walk or jog, I'm gonna jump rope. If I can't jump rope, I'm gonna do some stretches and some yoga. I'm gonna do something every day. I don't listen to anybody when it comes to me being active because I just think that with pregnancies, a lot of times women, it's easy for us to gain weight. It's easy for us to get out of shape during this time. And honestly, the baby needs you to work out. The baby, that's a healthy thing. So I don't listen to that. And I also don't listen to other people's experiences
mm,
anymore. And what I mean by that is that I feel like, you know, people will put their experiences of their pregnancies onto you. You're gonna do that, you're gonna get this, you're gonna get that. And at first it was just like, oh my God, that's gonna happen. And whether it happens or not, like it doesn't mean we're gonna have the same situation. So I've made it a thing to block out that noise, to block out, well, you're gonna have this, or you're gonna, or your nose is gonna be wide, your skin is gonna peel. You're like, I'm
you're gonna
like,
be ugly for
you're
like,
gonna be ugly. All of those things, you're gonna get a rash over your whole body. I'm like,
oh, I'm sorry you went through that.
and it would be in my mind like your stretch marks are gonna be they're coming regardless if you want them or not. I'm like, I'm using my bio oil
Every day.
now. If it comes, it comes. But I think that it can be a lot mentally to just take in all of that. If it happens, it happens. But I don't listen to that either. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't listen to anything negative. I try to block all of that out.
That's good. That's good. And I think that's one of those things where sometimes we search for information, not realizing that some information can hurt us more in terms of like our mental health or our mental well being, because now we're stressing things that we shouldn't stress. or things that we shouldn't even consider. Like their journey is different, you know,
Mhm.
their journey is
Mhm.
much, much different. Now, as an entrepreneur, what advice have you received that you have taken?
Ooh, I haven't received any advice as an entrepreneur. Everyone
Mm.
has just told me to just sit down and just be pregnant.
Right.
I've had one. Well, I have one friend who was like, "Oh, we got to get you some work," and so, but she's also in the industry, an actress, producer, writer, and so when she found I was pregnant, she was like, "Oh, we got to get you some work." So she thought the same way. But other than her, I would say no one else has pushed me. Everyone else has told me to sit down and just be pregnant. And I just don't believe in it. I don't know. Whatever. I'm just not me. I'm not gonna
Right.
just sit down and do nothing. I do feel like there's things that I can do. And I just have to be, I have to listen to my body and be patient and pay attention to if I'm not feeling good, then just sit down then and be as productive as I can when I can. But no, I don't think anyone in the industry has given me any type of advice that pushed me. And that's, you know, outside of my one friend Kay. I've gotten it. And I wish I did,
Mm.
you know. But I think that people look at motherhood and pregnancy as something so gentle that you can't do anything to, you know, and I don't think negative a lot. So I'm not
Right.
gonna think if I go walking that something's gonna happen to the baby. I'm not gonna think, it's okay to be active. It's okay to be productive. Because if I had a 9 to 5, I would still have to go to work. I
Right.
can't just sit home all day, right? So what's the difference between them and us?
Right.
Why is it that we need to sit down and be still? But if I was a nurse, then I would still be on a 12-hour shift.
Right. Oof.
Make it
That's
make sense,
that's real. That's real. And you
you
come
know?
from a Caribbean background, right?
Yes, yeah. My dad's
So
Trini and Grenadian.
and it's it's one of like my mom's from the Bahamas, my dad's Haitian, my husband's from the Bahamas,
Mhm.
and it was one of those like you work too much, you're always on the move, you need to sit down, you're pregnant now, and it's just like, but this is my job. I
Yeah.
chose this path, I chose this career. I'm great at it. I love what I do.
Hmm.
Yes, there are days where I can't move the way I want to, and I had to slow down and shift things in my business, but it doesn't mean that life stops because
Right.
once this baby comes out, my life has to keep going. My businesses
Keep
still
going.
have to keep going, and
It
it's like
has
I can't
to.
take a year break and be like, all right, yo, I'm back. Like,
And it's
no.
and it's really different for us because not only are we entrepreneurs, our husbands, our partners are. So there is no one who has a check coming in every single, 2 weeks,
Right,
9 to 5. We have to keep going. We have to keep pushing. Um, because we have created this for ourselves and we have to keep going. No one's going to
exactly.
keep going if for us.
Right.
You know what I mean? So easier said than done. I personally think we're doing the right thing. I do.
I
I think,
mean,
the doctor
the
said
bills are
everything's
still paid. The doctor said we're fine.
good,
She's like,
then
as
we're
long as
fine.
when you travel, do this, do that, you're fine. I'm like, okay. Because even I had a job a week ago in Oregon, and everyone was
Mm,
like, did you talk to the doctor? So I asked the doctor. She was like, just get up every hour. That's all I got to. She like, yeah, just get up and walk up and down, do some straight. And I
yeah,
was like, okay, period. And I'm like, and
good.
told everyone, well, are you sure you should be traveling that far and doing this and doing that? And I'm like, I just have a baby brewing inside of me. I'm not.
It's
I'm
not
not.
right. We're not to that point. Well, it's good news because I had a flight, went home to see my mom for her birthday, and I said after that flight, I'm not flying anymore. But maybe it's because I didn't get up every hour. That's
She
what I
was
should have
like, get
done.
up every hour, wear a mask. She's like, people are disgusting, so just wear a mask and
Hmm.
have people pick up your bags for you. And I was like, I don't walk around. I try not to walk around looking pregnant because I don't like the attentions most times. But at the
Mm,
airport, I definitely looked. I was like, can you help me with this? Can you do that? Can you lift that up?
right.
Okay.
I, I got a wheelchair. Wheel me to my gate. I'm not even gonna stress myself. Get me to the gate. I'll get to my seat, and when I get off my seat, get me to the car.
You, you know what? I do have a flight coming up. I may have to take that.
That's free service.
She said, I'm not.
Airport is just way too big. It's just, I would be so winded. If I get winded from the bathroom back to the bed, who is about to walk through Hartsfield International Airport?
I was dying. I had to keep stopping. I was like, let me just stop and take a little break.
Oh, I didn't want no part. I said, give me a wheelchair. What's wrong with you? My leg hurt. And it do. I got cramp. I got cramp.
Oh my gosh, you are hilarious.
Judge me if you want to. I bet you get that wheelchair next time.
Listen, I am. I'm like,
It's such a breeze. It's such a breeze.
you just sit down
You
like
just get to your
watch
gate.
it all down there.
They're gonna ask you, do you need me to? I can take it from here. Now, I hope people don't take what I just said and take it out of hand because then we're gonna lose that.
They're gonna be like, you're pregnant. Just like, listen,
I'm like, all right now, y'all. Everybody can't be doing it, but they don't have that many wheelchairs. So only do it if you if you can't walk that far.
if you have to stop for breathers, take it.
Take it. But
They're gonna
don't
be
just be
like,
getting this wheelchair, y'all. Don't take my advice and run with it like that.
they're gonna be like, we need to see documentation of how
You
many
said
weeks you are to prove if you need a wheelchair or
wheelchair or
not.
not. It works. I
Man,
said I'm gonna keep doing this. This is nice.
that's smart. I didn't even think about that.
Hmm.
That's a cheat code right there. That's a cheat code. Oh man. Okay, we're both entrepreneurs. Our spouses are entrepreneurs. Love them down. But what is something I know, especially now that we've been having these conversations more, we realize that our husbands aren't prepared for that either.
Ooh.
And it's like even like me and my husband have so many talks about maternity leave and what that's supposed to look like and how is that going to look like and how can we better prepare. Have you guys
Um,
had that conversation, and if you so, what has that conversation look like?
we didn't have any conversation about maternity leave because it happened so fast. It was like we're here. Now what? And so immediately he just upped it on his part because of the pre-existing conditions I have and the issues I was going through in my first trimester. I would be submitting for jobs and I'm like, I can't work even if they book me because I knew the pain and the things I was going through. And so with him being along this journey with me, he also saw that. And so it came to a point he was like, don't worry about it. I'll, you know, do it for the both of us. And even that, was hard because I'm like, no, I'm an independent. I'm gonna go get her, and I'm gonna keep submitting, and I'm gonna keep doing this, and even just submitting for random jobs online. Like, okay, what can I work from home doing in the bed because
Right.
I'm practically on bed rest a lot of the day. It's like not doctor's orders, but I can't get up. I can't move. I'm in so much pain. So it wasn't something that we talked about at the beginning, but we talked about it while it happened and just communicating with each other like, okay, it doesn't matter how much I want to work physically, I can't. I will get fired. They're like, girl, why are you here? Is this not, you know, um, it just wasn't the conversation we had. Moving forward, I can't even talk about moving forward because we got to see how this one goes first. If it ever came to a point that we have another child, I would just want it to be more planned and us have that already talked about and worked through. But I can say we're doing a really good job managing with it being something that was just, not planned. Just
Right.
the communication and understanding. Like you said, they weren't prepared for this either. He definitely wasn't prepared for some nights when I woke up and I was like, "Wake up!"
This to me.
And he's half asleep. Like, what are we talking? I have to give him, I have to give him his
Yeah.
flowers. He's been hanging in there, and he picked up the slack, and that's what it. I feel like that's what it's about when you have a partner in a relationship, picking up the slack, whenever you can to help the other, and vice versa. With this career that we've chosen, they're going to be good days, going to be bad, they're going to be ups and there's going to be downs, and so it's not always going to be 50-50. And sometimes it may be 80-20. Sometimes it may be, and we have to flip flop and help each other. through whatever ups and downs that we go through, not just pregnancy, but just in a marriage, in life.
Right. Yes, definitely,
Hmm.
definitely. Yeah. Like I have not had a full night's sleep and I can't remember how long. And I just look over and my husband's just all comfortable and I'm just like,
Peaceful. Peaceful.
you like, how'd you sleep? I did it.
But you did. I got video. I record. Let me show you how nice. Let me show you how good you were sleeping. I've done that a few times. You
Just
know,
tossing and turning, legs hurting, back hurting,
just
can't get comfortable.
yeah,
Just what
yeah,
is life? What is
yeah.
don't recommend it, love it, but don't recommend it. May
Not
not do
recommend.
this again. I'm
No,
gonna watch this video as a reminder.
out of
But
10, would not recommend.
so, what is one advice you would give an entrepreneur, an actress
Mm.
about to go into this journey? What is one thing that you would give
Ooh,
them?
I would say pregnancy is a blessing. It is. It's not going to be perfect. There are going to be hard moments, but there's going to be a lot of growth in it. There's going to be a lot of rediscovering yourself. And I would say be open to that and make the best of the moment. Look at the positive. Be in the moment as much as you can. Um, Keep pushing when you can. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't feel like you can't accomplish whatever you're trying to accomplish. Take it easy. We're women, and if we can create a child, we can work. If we can give birth, because that's one of the hardest things to do in life that women have to do. We're strong enough to do whatever we want to do. So always remember that if you can give birth, you can work while you're pregnant. You can still push through. You can still find different passions and keep yourself going, mentally and physically. Just pushing through, being strong, being that strong woman that you know you are.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now,
Yeah.
where can we find you and what do you have coming up? And please plug in your hilarious, funny Pregnancy Anonymous.
Oh man. Okay. You can find me on Instagram, Ashani Roberts. I have been writing. I have a project that I'm pitching right now. That a feature film that I wrote will be producing, and super excited about that. As soon as that is greenlit, I will be posting about it. Don't even think I'm gonna hold it back. And then of course, Pregnancy Anonymous. It's a skit series. You can find it on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all under Sensitive About Our SHYT, because we are artists and we're sensitive about ours. Okay. I have been doing actor workshops, Actors Path, where I help actors or inspiring actors figure out how to get started. We've been doing that. We did it twice this year. May do it one more time this year, just to kind of help people get on the path of acting and knowing exactly what they need. So there's a lot of scams out there. There's a lot of people that aren't who aren't, what's the word? They aren't legit, and they're taking people's money. I mean, you know. And so the Actors Path workshop is something I've been doing, and just following me on my website, Ashani Inc. And I have a lot going on there with homeless giveaways I do every year, and keeping up with me, all things Ashani. You can find me on Ashani Inc. or Ashani Roberts on Instagram. I have my first short film, Chronic, and you can find that Chronic short film on Instagram, and that will be released very, very soon. It just went through the film festival run, but yeah, follow Chronic. It's my first short film that I wrote, produced myself, co-directed with my good friend Darcel Danielle, and it's about gun violence and PTSD. Um, from just trauma. And it needs to be talked about because there's been a lot of school shootings and things just getting brushed under the rug at this point. We don't even talk about it anymore, and it's not okay. So if If you're a pro saving our children and saving each other, and please follow Chronic as well.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Ashani, for your honesty, for your vulnerability, for your humor, and for sharing with us today. I'm so excited to, one, be able to share this space with you. Congratulations on this beautiful blessing.
Yay. Thank you for having me.
Thanks so much for tuning in to this episode of Baby, Bump, and Business. I hope today's conversation reminded you that you're not alone on this journey and that there's so much power in building something beautiful while becoming something new. If you've enjoyed this episode, please take a moment to rate, review, or share it with another mom or creative who needs this encouragement. Your support helps this community grow and lets more stories like ours be heard. To stay connected and get updates on new episodes, behind the scenes content, and real talk from creative moms like you, be sure to follow us on Instagram at Baby Bump and Business. Until next time, keep creating, keep growing, and give yourself the grace that you deserve.